welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of the Year, four-time reigning Club of the Year, our weekly meeting. And we got our inspirational moment. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And then we got our four-way test. We all know. Oh, clicked on me again. And then our vision. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. We'll say this is membership month for Rotary. So, do we have it? I see one. Brenda's got one.
Layla's my guest today.
Okay, good. Glad to have you, Layla. But this is membership month for Rotary. So if you have someone, a prospective member or whatever, invite them to our meeting. Send out the Zoom invitation to them. Invite them to join us. Hopefully, at some point, we'll get them in front of them face to face. But love to have any guests we can, and hopefully recruit some new members here soon. We'll have a vocational by Dr. Cherisse Jones Branch.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's doing okay this afternoon. Just a few things about who I am and what I do. I'm the Dean of the Graduate School at Arkansas State University. I'm also the James and Wanda Lee Baughn Endowed Professor of History. I've been at Arkansas State University for 17 years this month. And many people don't know this, but I'm also a Persian Gulf War veteran. So I've led an interesting life up until this, well, still living an interesting life, actually. My job as dean is to provide leadership for graduate education at Arkansas State University. I am also charged with being informed about patterns and initiatives in graduate education. I also oversee recruitment, admissions, professional development. Obviously, I don't do all of this by myself. I have a staff that helps me with this. Also awarding graduate degrees, which I will be doing at commencement this Friday night and Saturday morning. Allocating support for graduate students and graduate assistants. I also work with graduate directors and chairs. And I see my responsibility as part of my responsibility as raising the visibility and the profile of the graduate school, not just locally, but also regionally, nationally, and internationally. But the most important thing to me is that we are here in the graduate school for the students. And so I have an open door, or rather an open Zoom policy, and we're all here to make sure graduate students get what they need. And that they not just survive at Arkansas State University, but that they also thrive, and that we support them in whatever way we can to help them to go on to do whatever it is they want to once they leave the university. So that's my job in a nutshell.
All right. Thank you, Cherisse.
You're welcome.
I put this picture in here to share it so you can see that Carl Cates and I went out this last week and actually presented the two of the meteorologists with their Paul Harris Fellows that I guess Brian arranged for them and Carl arranged for them to receive last year, but just actually presented it to them the other day. But that's Zach Holder and Aaron, I'm gonna go Castleberry. So I think Hatton is working on getting Ryan bonds to him, and I think Carl was working on getting one to Trey as well. So anyway, that's the photo we had taken this last week. And then also, this was the photo, actually the Facebook page that Hatton put up for us for the backpacks that we delivered to United Way. So like I said, we delivered 71. That was a great job by everybody on short notice to chip in and help out. It just, goes to show we can do what Rotarians do and support organizations like this in our community, even during a pandemic. So we don't necessarily have to be there serving, but we can do something to help out. So, and then fundraisers, we still have the club fundraiser as far as the masks. There are a few masks left that can be purchased. So far, I think we're a little over 70 masks. I ordered 80. So I have not received any information from Sydney yet as to when we will expect those to receive those or when we need to pay for those. But I'll be getting something together and letting everybody know how we need to collect on that and handle that here soon. The University Club still has their fundraiser for the meals. I believe we said this would still be good through August. So support that if you can. And then now we've got our speaker, Izzy Baughn. I've got her bio here. Izzy is the 19-year-old daughter of Richard and Tamara Baughn. She's a freshman media and communications, political science double major and business administration minor at Ouachita Baptist University. Izzy runs for the Ouachita Baptist cross country track and field team and holds 2 school records. She was elected as a student body senator, serves as the co-producer for Ouachita Sports Digital Network, participates in the Carl Goodson Honors Program, is a member of the Ouachita Student Foundation, and is active in the Women of EEE. During her first year at Miss Arkansas 2019, Izzy was awarded the overall Alpha Private Interview Award, Alpha Social Impact and Evening Wear Award, Children's Miracle Network Miracle Maker second place fundraiser, the Sharon Evans Bale We Are More Award, the Lauren McDaniel Confidentially You Award, and the Marty Walker Memorial Scholarship, the Miss America Scholastic Achievement Award, and the Miss Arkansas Dreamer Award. On her journey, Izzy has learned to recognize her strengths and weaknesses, approach situations with an open mind, and encourage those around her through example. Because she learned the value of striving to be a leader, she hopes to inspire others to do the same, which has paved the way for her social impact initiative, Lead to Succeed. Whether on the stage or not, she believes an impactful leader is an intentional and sincere. Izzy's mission is to continue making an impact by being a transparent leader and an intentional servant to the communities around our state. To continue her journey, Izzy will head back to Miss Arkansas next summer as Miss Texarkana Twin Rivers 2020-21. Izzy?
I know you just read my bio, but I thought I would provide some pictures just for a little bit of, can y'all see that? Is that good? Good, okay. So I'm gonna change this to speaker view. There we go. This is, this shot in the yellow is one of my headshots for Miss Arkansas this year. And this is me with the freshman cross country girls. We are now sophomores. I completely forgot to update my bio, so that is my fault. This is at the Rotary Club in Blytheville. I absolutely love speaking to Rotary clubs, so thank y'all so much for having me today. This next picture right here in the center is at Children's Miracle Network, and one of the philanthropies that the organization supports is Children's Miracle Network, and so I wanted to throw that picture in there. It is more than just a crown and a sash. We are able to make an impact in the Children's Hospital. And then I also am a big believer in supporting St. Jude Hospital. So this is a picture from Marathon Weekend. I ran the 10K this past year. I'm sad because they canceled it this past week, but that's still something I'll be fundraising for. So this is just a little bit about me, a few pictures that give you an idea of who I am without the crown on. And then I'm gonna scroll down, there we go. First, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Miss Arkansas Scholarship Organization and what it is, because truthfully, there are some people in this audience who already support the Miss Arkansas organization, who believe that the competition is empowering to women, is teaching them how to interview, how to perform on stage, how to lead in a crowd, whatever it may be. And there are some people in this room that it's my job to convince you that you should believe in it. So I want to talk about the organization. It is scholarship-based. So when he read off those awards that I won, that garnered about $9,000 in scholarship. And with my ACT score, my academic scholarship, as well as Miss Arkansas, I was able to pay off my freshman year in full. So that is a testament to what this system does for young women. So if you've ever questioned why you should support the Miss Arkansas organization, that should tell you enough in itself that they are providing scholarships for young women to go to college and to get their education or to receive their degrees. It is also a service organization. I mentioned that with Children's Miracle Network, and we are nationally partnered with Children's Miracle Network, and we are able to fundraise through them. And the money that we raise goes directly to our state, Arkansas Children's Hospital for Arkansas. It goes directly into their funds to help them function. So I've been able to raise $10,000 this year for for Children's Miracle Network, and I was the winner of the CMN scholarship. They haven't announced that yet, but they're getting ready to, and so I'm super honored. I'm going to get to go to Little Rock in a few weeks and just get to see everyone at the hospital and make sure that they're doing good, check in with our connections there, and I'm super excited about that. So there are some of you on this call that helped me fundraise for that, and I greatly appreciate it. If I have not told you thank you, know that you are greatly appreciated. Next, there are 4 phases of competition. There's the interview, the private interview. That's 10 minutes long. They can ask you anything and everything. I have been asked some of the wildest questions, and I've also been asked very political or goal-oriented questions as well. That's 10 minutes that the judges just get the chance to know you and know who you are. There's also a talent phase of competition, which I sing, and I normally sing Not for the Life of Me. It's a Broadway piece, but this year I'm looking to change it and potentially play the piano, so I'll keep y'all updated on that endeavor. I guess quarantine is making me learn some new tricks, and we'll see where that goes. There's also an onstage interview, which is a continuation of your private interview, but this time you're on stage, a little bit more pressure considering you're in front of about 3,000 people. And then lastly, there's the evening wear competition, and this is where we introduce our social impact initiative, which you've heard, mine is Lead to Succeed. So I get about a minute to tell the audience about Lead to Succeed in the beautiful gown that is sponsored by the Miss Texarkana Association. So that's a little bit about the competition, just for some newbies. Sadly, this year, the 2020 competition was postponed until June of 2021. So that means that Miss Arkansas will be set back a year. Instead of crowning a 2021 Miss Arkansas, we will crown a 2020, just a year late. But that has been a sad transition, but we're making it. That means that there's no preliminary season, and I will serve as Miss Texarkana for 2 years in a row, which is unprecedented. It's never happened in history, so I'm excited to be able to do that. And before I move on to my Lead to Succeed talk, I want to explain how I ended up in Texarkana. Most people question, you're from Jonesboro, you're born here, you were raised here. Why do you hold the title of Miss Texarkana? Like I said, I go to Ouachita Baptist University, and so Texarkana is only about an hour from Ouachita Baptist, and Clark County, which is where my college is actually included in the Texarkana organization. So that is how I ended up in Texarkana. After this next year, hopefully I'll come back just a little bit closer to home. It's been a great year so far, but I do miss my people here in Northeast Arkansas. So, all right. Now I'm going to introduce you about my platform. I don't have slides. I just want to speak to you, hopefully encourage you. I know a lot of you are leaders in this community. A lot of you are leaders in your home, on a sports team, wherever it may be. You are probably a leader here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And so I just want to leave you with a little bit of encouragement about how you can be a leader, even though we are facing a global pandemic. So, leadership is one word that connotates thousands of meanings. So when I say the word leadership, what comes to your mind? Just think about that in your head. Think about one word. When you think of a leader, what are you looking for? Well, to me, visionary leadership is what ties us all together. Athletic teams, high school clubs, civic organizations, politics, large corporations, families, and so much more. We must realize that by being a leader, we choose to live a certain lifestyle. And instead of just making a few decisions here or there, or a few public appearances, or a few service opportunities, instead it is a lifestyle that we encompass. To start, I want to tell you a story about a guy named James Nesmith. And James was an avid golfer. He was pretty average though. He didn't have a very good golf game, but neither do I, so I can't judge. He shot in the low 90s, but then the Vietnam War came about. And so James had to stop golfing. He had to postpone. It was just hard for him to get out on the course. Well, that didn't stop James from reaching his goal. And you may be wondering, why is this girl telling me a story about a golfer when she's talking about visionary leadership? But through James' story, I'll show you just how his vision helped him accomplish his goal. So for about 6 years, he would walk outside every single day. He would smell the greens in his head only. He was imagining this. He would smell the greens. He would pick a club. He would swing and drive the ball down the fairway. But he wasn't actually playing. Instead, he was just envisioning it in his head. And for those years, that taught James the importance of crafting a plan. It also made him aware of what he was good at on the course, maybe what he wasn't so good at. He learned to adapt and use new perspectives, and he also learned to effectively and energetically communicate with himself and with others. The first characteristic that I mentioned of a visionary leader is crafting a plan. I'm sure all of you are a lot like me. You love to-do lists. You like to get that nice check mark when you've done something. But the importance in goal setting is that goal setting triggers behaviors and habits. It creates a habit in your body. When you set a goal, you get to daily check that one box off that's getting you closer to your goal. And that in turn helps you in the future. Goals also give you a reason to sustain your momentum, whether it be for you, for an individual goal you have, or for a goal that you have for your business place, your family, your team, essentially, is what I like to call it. They help you sustain momentum because you have something to work for each day. Goals also align and produce focused and cohesive thoughts. So when I say that, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I really want to do this, but then I don't write it down. I don't make a plan for it. I don't set a goal. And I start looking 6 months down the road and I still haven't accomplished it. And so I would encourage you that if you have a goal for your business or for the community, I would encourage you to set a goal so that you can have cohesive and aligned thoughts as you go through that with the people that you are serving. The second point is to gain awareness of your strengths and weaknesses. I know that some of us maybe think we are good at everything. I thought that for a long time, and then I went to college and I am not so great at everything. So I had to learn to rely on the people that are willing to help me, willing to teach me, that I can learn from. So no matter how young or old you are, I encourage you to realize what you can improve on and what you're already good at and use those strengths and weaknesses to benefit yourself and others. One comment that I'd like to say with that is to never stop learning. One of my professors told me this semester, he said, the greatest thing you can do to benefit yourself is to never stop learning. I don't mean going to school, getting another degree, whatever, but I mean reading books, picking up an article that's from a vetted source. Never stop learning so that you are consistently keeping your brain on top of things. The next characteristic of a visionary leader is to see and adapt to new perspectives. Sometimes this one's hard for me. I am, like I said, I'm very list oriented. So once I find something that works, I want to continue to do it that one way. So I've had to learn to adapt and use new perspectives. Leadership means that you are in charge of people typically, and typically these people are different from you. But whether it's a service preference, a communication method, however it may be that you differ from this person, a view or belief, you can still choose to work toward one common goal by being able to adapt and see their point of view, as well as them doing the same. So I would encourage you this week to see where you can use a new perspective. The last point is to use effective and energetic communication. My favorite quote comes from John Maxwell, and it's from his book, Developing the Leader Within You. And he said that leaders have the ability to be close enough to relate to the people around them, but to be far enough ahead to motivate those around him. So when he says close enough to relate, that makes me think of effective communication. If you're able to communicate with someone in your workplace, in your household, wherever you may be at, you are using effective communication. And if you are energetically communicating, that's when you're motivating them. That's when you're motivating people around you to do something better, to dream bigger, to do more. So I want y'all to work on this week. That's my challenge to you, is to work on effective and energetic communication. You may be starting to wonder why I told you that story at the beginning. But to me, James walked out on that golf course every single day, and he crafted a plan, and he learned what he was good at and what he wasn't good at to improve upon them. He also learned to see new perspectives. He didn't want to stop golfing, but with the start of a war, he had to, so he adapted his plan. And then he also effectively and energetically communicated with himself so that he could get better at golfing. What I didn't tell you about James, though, was that he was a prisoner of war in the Vietnam War. So he was trapped in a 4.5 by 5 foot cell for about 6 years. And the only thing that kept him motivated to stay alive, fight for his life, was the golf game. And when he got out, when he was released after the war, about 7 years later, he knocked off nearly 22 strokes of his golf game. So I think James' story is a testament to how crafting a plan and having a vision is a good way for us to be leaders in our community and in Jonesboro, Arkansas. That number in itself speaks and has influence. And in turn, I encourage you not to forget the unique ability that lies in leadership in all of us. This will propel our future, and those willing to take this leap, your dreams will take flight if they haven't already. So that is my platform. That's what I share with school children. It's also what I share with civic organizations and wherever I'm given the opportunity to speak. So I hope that leaves you a little bit encouraged. And don't forget my challenges that I left you in there to work on communicating with your team, work on adapting to new perspectives. And lastly, I'm going to flip one more slide. I've left all my social media. I'm not sure who on here loves social media and who maybe hates it. I'm kind of in between some days. But I left my social media tags and also my website. I would absolutely love to connect with any of you, to hear from you, to take questions. If you have an event in the community, assuming that you're all very involved because you are Rotarians, I would absolutely love to be there and be a part of it. So feel free to reach out. And I will quit boring you now, but I would love to take questions if y'all have any. Just unmute and say your name if you don't mind.
Tell us about the year delay that you're going to have waiting for Miss Arkansas again next year. This is Mark, by the way, just in case you didn't know.
Yes, I think I recognize that voice. Yes, we will have a year delay. So June of 2021, we'll hold the competition, but that has not stopped my progress. I did break my foot. I know you can't see it right now, but I had surgery about 6 weeks ago, and that slowed me down just a little bit, but I'm finally able to get back in the gym. I've been able to meet with my vocal instructor and some people that are helping me gain perspective and gain insight for the private interview. And I started that this past Thursday. So Miss Arkansas 2021 is in full speed as of right now. So I'm going to prepare for that. And Miss Arkansas has been kind enough to give every contestant a $1,000 scholarship for the year that we had to miss. So that's a huge blessing as well from the Miss Arkansas organization.
Awesome.
Izzy, this is Beverly Gilbert.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, fine, thanks. So tell us what you're doing this summer, and I jumped on a little bit late, so you may have already done that. But tell us what you're doing this summer, and then how that may benefit your work toward the pageant.
Yes. I was supposed to intern in Washington, D.C. this summer with Congressman Crawford, but COVID-19 had very different plans for a whole lot of us, and it definitely had different plans for my summer. But with that being said, I got the opportunity to intern in the city of Jonesboro, or with the city of Jonesboro in the mayor's office, and I was able to help write press releases and do the communication side of things, as well as manage schedules. And so my degree is in mass communications and political science, and one day I hope to attend law school and then potentially run for office. Yes, big goals as a 19-year-old, but that experience in itself helped me get the inside look on what city politics and city government is all about. And so I absolutely enjoyed my summer. It was phenomenal, and I am sad that it's coming to an end and that I have to go back to Ouachita, but I know that it's prepared me for a future of going to law school and potentially working in politics.
It sounds like a great experience.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your question.
Hey, is one more thing. You may want to tell them how the foot got broken. It wasn't from sitting on the couch propped up on a coffee table, right?
It was not from sitting on the couch propped up. Like I said, run cross country, and I was running just a little bit too much. I ran from my driveway to Cache, Arkansas, which sounds far away, but I don't live actually in the city. So I live a little bit outside of Jonesboro. So it was only about 12 miles, but I ran that the day before I went to work at a summer camp. And if you've ever worked at a summer camp or sent your kid there or heard any story about it, you know that it's very little sleep and it's very taxing on your body. And my foot on that Friday night, after it was just worn out, to say the least. It just broke. I don't even have a cool story, but I wasn't sitting on the couch. So I think I just overdid it and my foot snapped. But Dr. Eddie Caldwell at St. Bernard's put a nice little 5-inch screw in my 5th metatarsal, and hopefully, fingers crossed and prayers going up, on Thursday, he's going to clear me to walk. So, yes.
So this is Lori. What sparked your interest to get into pageants? Something you've done your entire life or just recently?
Yes, I started actually at a school pageant, so nothing like the Miss Arkansas organization, but a fun experience nonetheless. And I looked at my mom and I was like, Mom, I really liked being on stage. And she just looked at me and laughed. And I was like, what? You know, what's wrong with that? And so then we found the Miss Arkansas organization, and that it was scholarship based and service driven. And that's what motivated me to start competing. And so it was when I was a 6th grader, and I was playing 4 sports. So I was super busy. It was kind of a side gig at that time. But when I went into 7th grade and I got into junior high, I decided to cut down on some of my sports and to pursue competing. And I did that. I competed at Miss Lights of the Delta's Outstanding Teen, and I played the guitar and sang Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker. And if you've ever been to a scholarship competition put on by Miss Arkansas, you know that that's probably not the song you choose for your talent. So I'm a true testament to that. We all start somewhere, and sometimes it's really not that pretty, but my journey has been a fun one. I started there at Miss Lights of the Delta, and then my first ever Miss title to compete at Miss Arkansas, life came full circle, and I was Miss Lights of the Delta. So that was a bittersweet moment, and I gave up that title in November to win Miss Texarkana. And so I've continued competing. I think this makes year 6. This will make year 6. Yeah. See, we have some.
Any other questions for Izzy?
Well done, Izzy.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it that y'all took time out of your Tuesday to listen to my speech.
Yes, well done, Izzy. Enjoyed it. Thank you for coming for speaking with us. So.
Thank you, Izzy.
Yes, good job, Izzy.
All right, so I do have, I guess, an announcement that was put in the chat. Tammy Camp just asked if we could announce that Superior Senior Care, the week of August 10th and 14th, we'll be collecting PP and E. I'm thinking my loans, PPP loans. PP and E, face masks, disinfecting wipes, hand sanitizer for the Jonesboro Visual and Performing Arts Magnet School. So I'll be on 104.9 and 106.3 in the morning to announce drop-off locations. They will be at Bill's, grocery stores, Kroger, Superior Senior Care Office. So she greatly appreciate any donations anyone can make to help out. Also, so next week we will have Holly Butler with the Arkansas Department of Transportation. I believe she's going to educate us on the half-cent sales tax, just kind of educational meeting. Also, I meant to announce in the upcoming events, and I forgot. I looked on DACDB this morning, and apparently we are scheduled for the district governor visit for September the 15th. So be preparing for that. And actually, I think the following, after this meeting on the 11th, the week of the 18th, we don't have anything scheduled. So it looks like we'll probably do a club assembly, and I'll present the club goals, and maybe we'll do something on membership as well at that time, so we can check a few of those boxes. And the thought for today: average leaders raise the bar on themselves. Good leaders raise the bar for others. Great leaders inspire others to raise their own bar. Warren Woodward. Everyone have a great rest of the week, and go forth and rotate.
Okay. Bye. Very good.
Thanks, Gary.